Hey Greg, do you want to know what's on my wish list this year?
Let me guess. Same thing as last year?
The same thing as every year. Lego! Welcome to Passion of the Geeks, the show in which two friends and fellow geeks talk about geek and pop culture and everything else we enjoy. I am Pat.
And I'm Greg.
And let's get on with it. Hello, Greg. Nice to hear you again.
Hello, Pat. Nice to speak to you, yes.
So, Christmas is almost upon us, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, don't talk to me about Christmas. Christmas decoration everywhere. I can't stand it. Oh, it's so annoying.
Humbug. But before we get into the Christmas spirit, let's back up just a little bit. I think you have a follow-up, don't you?
Yes, in our last episode, I quickly talked about Valhalla and that I started playing it. I've progressed quite far into the story. We don't have to get into how that's possible too much. I think I played too much and slept too little, but that's a story for another day. I can report that the gameplay actually improved a little bit. Maybe it was the last patch, I don't know, but playing the game is actually quite a lot of fun. I have to admit that I prefer the story of Odyssey, but generally speaking, the setting and kind of the activities you can do on the map and the English countryside, the map basically where you're playing, is quite enjoyable. So I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm looking forward to kind of some new missions because I think at this point I've finished most of the main quests. I'm just trying to kill the head of the order. I haven't figured out who that one is, so that's the big thing I've left to do. But at this point, I'm just exploring the map, and it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, at least until Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, I'm probably going to play it some more.
Sounds interesting. Especially the English countryside must be beautiful.
The map and kind of the way everything is arranged and discovering new things, mysterious places, and so is a lot of fun. And just one tiny spoiler, if you have the chance, try to get Excalibur. That was one of my favorite things I did so far in the whole game.
Well, that sounds awesome. I'm really looking forward to that game. Well then, let's go into our Today I Found Out segment, shall we, Greg?
Yes, we shall.
You may begin.
I have two tiny bits of news today. I'm not sure if one of them is positive or negative, but yeah, our listeners might decide themselves. Wonder Woman is finally coming out. They're sticking to their Christmas release. But this year, everything is a little bit different. So they decided enough is enough. We're done waiting. So wherever it's possible, Wonder Woman comes out around Christmas in theaters. And where it's not possible or where people are afraid to go to theaters, Wonder Woman comes out on video on demand. Or, well, actually not video on demand. It comes out on HBO Max for free. No added charge or whatever, so not like Disney did with Mulan. And yeah, obviously I'm really sad that Wonder Woman doesn't get the fair day in movie theater court where the movie kind of makes... I'm pretty sure the movie would have made a lot of money, honestly. But they're probably gonna suffer a little bit on the box office side. But I'm just really glad that I can finally watch Wonder Woman because it's one of the movies I'm actually very, very excited for. What about you? You're going to try and watch Wonder Woman as soon as possible around Christmas as well?
The truth is, Wonder Woman might be the one thing the DC movie universe does that I am actually interested in, genuinely interested in. And yes, I want to watch it. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we have a chance to watch it together. That would be great. But yeah, I'm a little bit sad that it's not the event I was hoping for. The going to the theater, eating something, talking about it, being in a big room with other people who are laughing, who are cheering. Yeah, it's a little bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very sad. But I think we should definitely try and make it a thing. So
yeah,
either in maybe if it's safe enough, theaters, or we'll find another way to watch Wonder Woman together and maybe record an episode about it and share our enthusiasm about Wonder Woman. Because yeah, just like you, it's the DC character that I'm most excited about.
Yeah, definitely. We should do that.
Yeah, we should do that. Yes, second thing on my list, similar but different. And I'm trying not to go into a rant too much. Where is my PS5? I want my PlayStation. Okay, a little bit my fault. I was a little bit too late on the day that pre-order started, but not entirely my fault if every webpage crashes and yeah, at some point I just have to sleep. So I was a little bit late pre-ordering mine, but where are all these PS5s? Come on, Sony, produce more. Scalpers, what are you doing? So it's just a situation, and it's not just for the PS5, it's also for the Xbox Series X. Yeah, they're just sold out. The only way to get one at this point is to pay double the price on eBay or somewhere, and I'm just not doing that. So I have this pristine copy of Spider-Man Miles Morales lying around, and I can't play it. And maybe that's the reason why I'm trying to enjoy Assassin's Creed Valhalla as much as I do. Because Miles Morales is over there and I really want to play that one. And I know once I can play Miles Morales and once I can play Cyberpunk, I'm probably not going to play Valhalla anymore. But yeah, Sony, get your things together. Online shops across the world, stop selling to scalpers. And yeah, just give me my PS5.
Yeah, but I must say, I'm proud of you that you're not one of these people who is ready to pay these prices. You know, there are people out there who are ready to pay about $800 just so they could get their PS5. And that's not good. That's really bad. So if anyone in our audience tries to do that, please don't. This is not how this should work. Just wait a little bit longer. And hey, Sony, why so few PS5s? I mean, you have seen the pre-orders. I don't get it. Why don't they just produce more? They could.
Okay, to be fair,
yeah,
they started producing them, I think, in August.
Yeah.
And I think so far they've sold more in the first few weeks than in the first few months for the PS4. So demand has been exceptionally high. And actually they promised more devices kind of within this year. But yeah, I'm just hoping that I'm on the list, and maybe if I'm lucky, it's going to be my Christmas present, and that would just be really nice. At this point, I don't think I will get it for Cyberpunk. So it looks like I will have to start playing Cyberpunk on my PS4. But yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that.
Crossing my fingers.
Yeah. I'll keep everyone up to date on my PS5 saga. Yeah. Pat, do you have some news for us?
Yeah, actually, today I found out a little rumor I've read, and that is that maybe, possibly, in the Captain Marvel movie that is coming, I think, in 22, Rogue could be the major villain. And, well, we all know Rogue from the X-Men, and We all know Rogue possibly as one of the heroes, of the good guys. But in truth, Rogue and Captain Marvel actually clashed in the comics. So this could be something very possible. It's actually why Rogue has these flying powers and the extraordinary strength. She stole that from Captain Marvel. And because Captain Marvel is that powerful, she kind of kept it, didn't release them. And it's in the comics, this is a very significant part of who Rogue is. And I think that would be very interesting, also for another reason, because it would allow Marvel to kind of get the X-Men into the MCU. I mean, this is just a rumor, and there are a couple of rumors out there who could be the main villain in Captain Marvel 2. But the Rogue rumor is the one that I'm actually genuinely interested in. I would love it if they would do that. What do you think about that?
Well, rumors are rumors, obviously.
Yeah.
So there are so many things out there. But from my point of view, the idea to introduce the X-Men, or one X-Men specifically, as a character in another movie makes sense. I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether or not they have plans how to introduce the X-Men and what the timeline is. And I'm pretty sure that the corona pandemic has kind of changed those plans significantly. But from what I know is that the next Doctor Strange movie, The Multiverse of Madness, to me, multiverse sounds like something that might be used to introduce the X-Men, or kind of get the X-Men kind of into the same universe as all the other Marvel characters. Because so far there were no mutants, there were no X-Men in the MCU. So either they just retcon it, but I think at this point I don't think they would do that. But yeah, Into the Spider-Verse has been such a huge success for Sony. So people seem to grasp the idea of the multiverse. So why not introduce or kind of clash the universes in Doctor Strange? Maybe with, if that's true, with Wanda's powers, Scarlet Witch as the universe breaker or whatever. And then have the X-Men who need to look for their place in the world, at least Rogue. Maybe not the full-on villain, but maybe as a side villain. And then in the end, they have to team up to kill something even bigger.
Oh yeah,
and
that would be great.
Giving Rogue those cool powers would actually make her... I mean, Rogue is a beloved X-Men character, but her power set in the movies has never been used that well. But giving her similar powers to Captain Marvel might actually make her a powerful X-Men that is a team leader. And I'm pretty sure Marvel might like that, to have a female X-Men that is beloved by fans and can be a team leader, because I'm pretty sure they won't give us a new Wolverine soon. I'm pretty sure they will wait with that. So they need another one. So Rogue, Kitty Pryde. I think those are X-Men that I think they might actually be using. So yeah, sounds plausible to me. But yeah, I just want to see a new Marvel movie again.
Yeah.
Don't even care about those from 22. I still want to see those they had planned for 2020.
That's true. Let's not plan ahead that far.
Yeah.
Great. All right then, let's go on. Greg, do you have something to check out?
Yes, just quickly, because I already talked too much and today's supposed to be a shorter episode. I started reading Ready Player 2. the follow-up novel to Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. If you liked Ready Player One, you're probably gonna enjoy Ready Player Two. If you hated Ready Player One, I'm pretty sure you're gonna hate this one too. So far, I think it has the same problems as the first one. I still enjoy it. It's 80s, 90s nostalgia. If that's your cup of tea, you're definitely going to enjoy this. If you want an original novel that explores deep feelings, this is probably not your cup of tea anyway. Ready Player 2, it's a decent read. I'm actually listening to the audiobook read by Will Wheaton. And yeah, it gets me to sleep. So I quite like that. Have you read Ready Player One? Are you interested in Ready Player 2?
I've read Ready Player One. I liked it quite a lot, mostly because of the 80s and 90s nostalgia. It does have its weak points, but I'm okay with them. And I also enjoyed the movie, even though it's certainly weaker than the book, but I felt it was great things that they changed up for the movie. I'm really looking forward to Ready Player 2, yes.
And the other thing is, and I'm sounding like a broken record, but Mandalorian Season 2 is really good. It's really good. So if you're not watching Mandalorian Season 2, start watching it. And I'm sure that Disney doesn't need my endorsement, but Mandalorian, it's so good.
Might be the best thing Star Wars did since, I don't know, the original trilogy.
I've enjoyed some of the new Star Wars quite a lot.
Oh yeah, me too.
But Mandalorian it's just really good.
Yeah. I really have to look into that.
Yeah. What about you, Pat? Do you have something for us to check out this week?
Yeah, I have a classic that I want to recommend because instead of watching Mandalorian like I should have, I've rewatched Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's an anime from 1996, if I'm not mistaken. It's a classic. It tells the story of mechs against giant monsters. It's basically a little bit like what Pacific Rim did decades later. The thing is, however, Neon Genesis Evangelion is really, really deep. It explores a lot outside of these fights between mechs and monsters. And I mean, I just have to say that the monsters are called angels. And this might give a hint in which direction the series goes. It has a lot of biblical references. It has a lot of metaphors in there. And it actually has a kind of controversial ending. And I did like the ending. I thought it was brilliant. I can imagine that there are a lot of people out there who didn't like the ending. And they later made movies about Neon Genesis Evangelion, and they kind of did a couple of things a little bit differently. The series is very deliberately slow sometimes. But it's really great. It's on Netflix, and it's in Japanese if you want that, but it's also with an English dub if you do not want to read subtitles, which is okay. It's an okay dub. But yeah, it's really a recommendation. I think everyone should have at least tried to watch the series because it's really, really good. Have you watched it?
Of course. I'm not the biggest anime fan, but there are a couple you just need to watch for proper movie TV education. And Neon Genesis Evangelion is definitely one of them. You mentioned Pacific Rim, and obviously without Neon Genesis Evangelion, there is no Pacific Rim. I mean, that's clearly where most of the inspiration came from. And honestly, I'm more than okay with that, because Neon Genesis Evangelion, the TV show, is pretty much perfect. And I enjoy the ending as well. So don't turn it into a movie where you have to get rid of all the things that actually make it interesting. So what's the next best thing? You make a completely different movie where robots fight monsters. And that is Pacific Rim. So I actually quite enjoy what Guillermo del Toro did there. Because, you don't turn the anime into a movie. But give me a movie where robots fight kaijus. That's where I stand on that.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. All right then, let's go into our story of the week. Lego. As we said, it's almost Christmas, and it was kind of a silly opening with our wish list, but the truth is Lego has been a part of my life like forever, which is a great thing because Lego almost didn't happen. For everyone who hasn't heard about Lego, it's from a Danish company. Lego actually means, or sort of means, playing good, or a good toy, maybe. And they started out as some simpler blocks that could be put together, but they didn't really grab each other. You could just topple them as any blocks. And they had the idea to actually make these little nubbins for the blocks to hold together. And they still do that. In fact, Lego is one of the most scientifically accurate toy that you can actually buy. It needs to be very, very accurate for it to hold together. And it's like in a micromillimeter kind of thing. So these are not cheaply produced. They're really, really great. Still, Lego struggled for a time. And what they did was brilliant. They started to sell sets from other franchises. For example, Star Wars. And that was actually what saved them. And now they are one of the most famous toys in the world and one of the most successful ones. Greg, do you remember what one of the first sets were that you got? When did you start playing with Lego?
I don't know what my first sets were because for as far as I can remember, there was always Lego around. So I'm pretty sure that my first sets were either some sort of Duplo or other kind of just normal rectangular yellow and red bricks or whatever. And I'm pretty sure actually that some of those blocks I played with as a child, I still have them lying around somewhere. Obviously, I don't have the boxes anymore. But I just remember that Lego was always, has been, and probably still is one of my favorite toys.
Yeah. The truth is, Lego is something that just started appearing, not like in a set, but we always had these cartons or boxes full of Lego bricks that we probably got from somewhere else or someone else. And yeah, the first things we did, we just built things ourselves, not even using any sets.
You mentioned it before. I mean, Lego is a good toy.
Yeah.
Because it's well made. Sure, it's plastic, but it's well made plastic. And that's why those Lego bricks, they usually last forever.
They do.
There are obviously Lego bricks or kind of certain Lego parts that can break because they're long and have small parts attached to them. But a Lego brick, you really have to use force to break it. So it's probably one of the most durable toys out there. There's almost no weaknesses to a decent Lego brick. So that's one of the reasons why we don't really remember what the first Lego was, because, we just had hand-me-downs.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, you're completely right. Lego is kind of indestructible, which also gives us the joke where if you stand on Lego, it's your foot that will be damaged, not the Lego brick. No matter how old they are, they still fit perfectly together. So, hand-me-downs are certainly something that we all got. But it's also, if you have older sets, you still can build them. They still fit fine. And some of the transparent pieces, they get a little opaque, a little milky. But other than that, they look like in the first day, don't they?
What do you say about that you can combine old and new bricks with each other?
Yeah.
From a company perspective, I mean, I actually think that's a really cool move. Because it's not like they say, we have old Lego and everything after 2005, it's a different brick size and you can't combine them anymore. So you either play with the old ones or you play with the new ones. So they're not going full capitalist there. They're saying, yes, you still can use your old stuff, but we want to sell you new ones anyway. And what you said about kind of the licenses with the whole Star Wars and other movies and architecture and whatever, it's exactly that. They don't take away the old Lego bricks because you can still play with them. You can combine them with new stuff. But by giving you a new model, or by releasing a new model that you think is cool because it's from an intellectual property that you enjoyed or that you like, they're making you buy new stuff. And obviously, back as a child, I would have never either had both the money, the time, and the resources or whatever to build the Millennium Falcon. And after I built it, I probably would have tried to play with it. And let's face it, the big Millennium Falcon is too big to play with. And what do? You take it apart. Probably not going to take it apart. So it's definitely a model for an adult. Whereas as a child, I built the model and then I took it apart and built something new. So I think that's part of the reason why Lego is so long living, because you can play with it in whatever, however you like.
Yeah. As you said, you can combine it, old ones, new ones. And there are these big boxes of just random Lego pieces in there. And you can give them to any child at almost any age. Of course, the smaller pieces, you shouldn't give them to children under 3. But you can give it to a child of any age and they build something. And even if it's just, like sticking random pieces on top of each other and then putting a minifigure on top, and then they show you what they build. And the pride of creating something in their eyes that you see as an adult is such a wonderful thing. You really go at it and say, I mean, even if it's just some wonky tower or something, you really go and say, wow, this is great. And then we go and build something bigger so that you can enjoy it again. And this is wonderful. It's such a wonderful way of learning how to build things together. They're building houses and they play with it. And it's just nice to look at. It's the perfect toy for a child of any age.
Yeah, I think so too. My little niece, she's 2. She loves Lego as well. I'm not going to spoil on this podcast what she gets for Christmas. Maybe our listeners have an idea. Maybe, just maybe. But don't tell her. Don't tell her.
Yeah. The thing is, Duplo have also really great themes for their sets with farms and stuff. Things smaller children are interested in, which is great. And the way Duplos are easy to combine and easy to take apart again, it's really fun. They had a short-lived type of other brick called the Lego Explore, which was meant for even younger children, but I think they discontinued that. Does no longer exist.
I don't think so. I think I haven't seen it anywhere in the shop.
Yeah.
On a regular shop, yeah. But Lego Duplo, it's not just that they like to play with them because, yeah, the colorful bricks and animal figurines, and they really enjoyed it. But I also think it's actually good for their fine motor skills.
Yeah, definitely.
To combine the bricks and take them apart. And yeah, I just really think that Lego Duplo is a really good toy for very young children. And then as soon as they're older, proper Lego is a really cool toy for them as well. Because as we mentioned before, there are these two aspects. You can follow a guide and combine it to the pre-made model. Or you can just put them together in whatever shape or form you like and free play with it. So I think it's not only a cool toy to build the models, it's also a cool toy to tell stories and kind of Lego City and what's going on in those Lego cities. I remember that in our playroom we had a huge Lego City, and then we just tore it down and then we built a new Lego City. Or at one point I wanted to build an aircraft carrier, and kind of a 2/3 through the whole process, I figured out, I don't have enough bricks. I took it apart and built a smaller one. And I just remember those times very, very fondly.
Yeah, and I mean, Lego kind of encourages it to try to build something else from this set, because usually they give 2 or 3 ideas what you could also build from the pieces you have there, which I think is a nice idea, a nice concept. But the thing is, having the set built by the way it's described by its manual is a good way to actually learn how you could do things yourself with those Lego pieces. There are a couple of buildings my son had that he just tore down and built something else with it, but with ideas he had from these manuals, because he learned how to do certain things from there. So that's a good way to learn to do new things with Lego.
Yeah, kind of remember that I did the Sydney Opera House, and they had a very cool way to build the roof of the Opera House. And it was an interesting building technique. And I just thought to myself, if I had other stuff lying around, I might do something similar for another building. But honestly, I'm a little bit too old at this point to do free play with Lego. So at this point, I just built the models and let them collect dust somewhere. Yeah,
that's true. And I mean, this is something that has changed. We probably do no longer play with the sets we buy, but that doesn't mean that we have less fun building them. I remember that I was pretty sad when my son finally got old enough to build his own Lego sets, and he no longer needed my help to build them, because I always enjoyed doing that. I had started to buy certain Lego sets for myself, not because I want to play with them, but because I want to build them and maybe just put somewhere to look at, because, I mean, they look awesome. Other people may buy model sets that use, I don't know, papercraft, or that use plastic parts or something. And I just do the same thing with Lego sets.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the space for it, they're actually cool pieces to display.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, the Millennium Falcon is really big, so it's kind of hard to find space for him. But there are smaller, almost as cool models. And yeah, they're actually, they make themselves, they look nice in a room. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, they do. They do. I don't have the big Millennium Falcon, but I have the 2003 version. That one is a little smaller. It's still pretty big, but not as big as the one you have.
That was just a really cool experience to build it.
How long did you need?
I don't remember. I built it over a long Christmas break. And that's actually one other thing I wanted to mention one other thing I really enjoy about Lego is, for me at this point, building a Lego set is almost like meditating. Yeah. It's calming. You just focus on the bricks. You focus the right brick in the right color, in the right place. And I really enjoy it to just wind down with it. There are so many things going on in your life, but you sit down for an hour or two, maybe even longer, and you just focus on these bricks to put them in the right place. And obviously that's definitely something it's a first world problem. But I just like to, wind down like that sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, if the set has a certain size, it actually needs a couple of evenings to build it. And that's awesome because you look forward to it. The whole day when you're at work, you look forward to get home, get something to eat, and after that, build the Lego set. And as you said, it's a very Zen-like experience.
And it doesn't work for the smaller sets, actually. It needs to be a set that is a little bit bigger because, as you said, you need to put in some time to get into that flow. But yeah, then again, just sitting down and quickly do a little Lego set that one of your friends gave you as a fake birthday present, but you enjoyed way too much.
Yeah, I love these little fake birthday presents.
I have a little DeLorean time machine. I was just, I think about 100 pieces, so I had it put together in about 20 minutes. But I love it. I have it displayed in my office. So.
Yeah. Do you remember any specific sets from your childhood that you liked?
There is one specific Lego set, and at this point, it's almost like a joke. And at one point, I'm going to buy it, but I'm afraid that when I buy it and build it, it's not going to be as good as I hope it would be. Back in the day, was this old red Lego Technics sports car.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And I think I had that one on my Christmas wish list 3 years in a row, and I never got it. And then it turned into a running gag that, maybe at one point when I'm 30 or 50 or 60 or whatever, I'm going to get that for Christmas. So I'm pretty sure at some point I will track a model. I mean, I'm not sure that model exists anymore, actually. But at one point I will track that model down and I will build it. And I just hope it will be as good as I hope it will be. What about you? You have a favorite set from your past or a set that really means something to you?
There would be a couple, but there are two that I got for Christmas. One is the Black Seas Barracuda, which is a red and white striped pirate vessel, a pirate ship from the Lego Pirates set. And the other is called the Mission Commander, which is from Lego Space. There was a police force held in red and blue. And the Mission Commander was the big spaceship they had. And both of these sets were Christmas presents one. And these were two of my favorite Christmas presents ever. I got a lot of Lego for Christmas because that was the time in the year when I actually got new Lego. But these two, they just have a certain place in my heart. And I have them again because I tracked them down as an adult and bought them and, rebuilt them.
Cool. That's pretty cool. So I'm probably going to do that. Where did you track them down? eBay or?
Yeah, on eBay.
On eBay, yeah. I'll probably have to look for my sports car at some point as well.
And you might probably find it there. It's just if the sets are still sealed, then they are really, really, really expensive. And I mean, this is one thing because as Lego sets do not degrade over time, I mean, the box might be might lose some color or something, but the bricks themselves do not. They look just like the first day, and this is why they are worth so much.
Yeah,
because these sets are no longer being sold. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of nostalgia, and I can tell you, I still feel that these two sets are as awesome as they were back then. So I think there's a good chance your sports car will be as well.
Yeah. I think that's probably going to be a mission for the next few weeks to track that one down. I heard once that there are web pages where you can download building manuals for new stuff out of old boxes.
Yeah, there are a couple of resources in the internet that actually provide you either with the original manuals, the original instructions. There are also a lot of resources that put up every Lego brick that was in the original box. So you just can grab them together and rebuild your set. This will be something I would put in our show notes. There are some really great resources for that.
Because that's maybe one thing I might actually enjoy if I have a model that just collects dust. I look up what other thing can I build out of that model, and I have that experience of building and a new model. So that might be another thing I might look into in the future. Because at this point, I don't know what I will do around Christmas, especially if my PS5 doesn't show up. So maybe I'll just have to build some Lego.
That's not the worst thing you could be doing.
Yeah, just I shouldn't surprise myself too much, but I already bought my Lego Christmas present.
What is it?
I shelved out some money and got the Batwing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's a cool one.
It's already delivered. It's still in the box. I haven't opened the box yet because that's going to be my Christmas present for myself. The Lego Batwing.
That might be a great idea.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, actually. Yeah.
You know, there are people out there who think it's sad that Lego got so much into franchises. I mean, they still are doing their own thing, and people often forget that. But, I mean, nowadays, it doesn't matter what franchise you're interested in. There will be a Lego set about that. If it's DC, if it's Marvel, Star Wars, of course. I mean, there's Simpsons Lego, Scooby-Doo, Ghostbusters. You name it, they've got it.
Yeah, they have everything. They literally have everything.
They even have Minecraft Lego, which is fun because Minecraft, the game, is actually based on playing with Lego. And so it goes full circle.
It goes full circle, yeah.
Yeah. So, as I said, nowadays I like to build sets according to plans. When I was a child, I'd rather build my own stuff. And there is a very famous movie that does kind of deal with that subject, isn't there?
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds like the plot of the Lego movie.
Indeed. It's the Lego movie plot, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah. The Lego movies, they are better than they have any right to be.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what happened there, or maybe if it's just I think Lord and Miller. Maybe it's just them. They cracked the formula. But to make the premise of the Lego Movie basically the two different play styles and how you can or how you have to kind of bring them together is just genius. Yeah. And obviously the really catchy main title song helped as well. Because everything is definitely awesome if you're playing Lego. And I like the first one a little bit more than the second one. Mm-hmm. But I thought both of them were actually really good. And the same is true for Lego Batman. That one was also really good. Probably one of the better Batman movies. And we've already talked about that in one of our earlier episodes. But yeah, if you don't have a Lego set at hand, I would say watching the Lego Movie is probably the next best thing.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, Lego kind of did a lot of stuff. It's not just the toys anymore. It's the movie. It's the TV series. And they have a couple of very successful ones. Ninjago and Nexonite. Or their Star Wars stuff with the Freemakers, which is actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's meant for children, but they're actually pretty good series.
Yeah, and even when it comes, I mean, we just mentioned Duplo and regular Lego, but even when it comes to the toy Lego, there's Lego Technics, there is Lego Architecture. There's so many different Lego sets available. It's not just big franchises. And maybe that's why they're still so popular, because pretty much everyone is going to find something that ticks his or her boxes when it comes to Lego. There might be people who don't like to put the bricks together, but enjoy a movie or a TV show. And there might be people where it's the opposite. Or there might be people who enjoy Lego Star Wars and just Lego Star Wars, and people who rather do, I like to build the Taj Mahal or the London Tower Bridge. And Lego has something for you.
Yeah. Lego has something for everyone. Yeah. And it's always aimed at the whole family. It's always aimed at everyone. Sure, child might not have as much enjoyment building the Taj Mahal because it means nothing to them. They like building the Batmobile or some scene with Iron Man.
Maybe.
Talking about playing, have you ever played one of the Lego games?
No, I haven't. You?
They are actually pretty good, and they capture the feeling of playing with Lego on the console or on the computer. And they too are meant for the whole family. So a child can have a lot of fun with it as much as an adult can. And they are co-op games. So if you're two people, they're twice as much fun. And there are also quite a few franchises that have been made into the Lego games. They're essentially always the same, but they're always a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, I obviously know about them, but because I don't have kids, they don't seem like the games that are aimed at me as a target audience. Let's just put it that way.
Well, probably. But you would have a lot of fun, especially the early ones where you, for example, have the original Star Wars trilogy, and you play the movies, and the scenes have always that Lego-y twist. It's a lot of fun watching them. All right, then. Is there anything more about Lego that we should talk about?
I think we gave a pretty decent rundown of what Lego is. Just one thing I would like to reiterate is I think Lego is not just nostalgia. I don't play Lego today because I enjoyed playing Lego in the past. And I don't just play Lego because I like the models they sell me. I like Lego, or I like to play with Lego because it's a really cool toy.
What an excellent way to say this.
Yeah, I'm good at that stuff.
You're indeed. All right, then. Let's wrap this up. This is it for this week. Please like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. We're on all major podcasting services and on www.passionofthegeeks.com. You can send questions and suggestions to passionofthegeeks@gmail.com. And you can find us on Twitter at PassionOTGeeks. So then, Greg, thanks for talking.
Thanks for having me.
Take care, Greg.
Take care, Pat.
Hail to the king, baby.